Look, who is it? My man Joe. So it's raining outside last couple days. Where you have been sleeping?
What about Chipotle?
So you have a runny nose because you have been sleeping outside.
Yeah, it's been freezing. The wind's been kicking up.
I'll get you a room. You sleep in the room.
I'm okay. I got kind of stay out here because everybody else is out here too, you know.
You sure?
Yeah, part of the homeless awareness campaign. You know what I mean? I got to be able to. If I start going into the rooms, it's not fair to them.
I'd be happy if you slept in a room for at least a couple nights.
Can I get somebody else?
Yeah, of course. Why not?
I tell you that you're not bathing all the time. You're not taking a shower. You start forgetting about creature comforts, and people don't understand that nothing means nothing. Right? When you go home, you have the ability to take a bubble bath, you can take a regular shower, you got stuff in your drawer, you got options to clean your room, not clean your room, watch the TV, play video games, go out to the strip club, go to the mall, whatever. Right? Walk into the garage, pace back and forth, go to your living room. What do you guys cook? I'm going to cook top ramen 4 times a day. I still haven't been able to make macaroni and cheese in 3 years. Right? That I actually boil some water, put some noodles in, and make it macaroni and cheese. I used to eat, sometimes twice a day. I haven't found a way successfully to boil water. Homeless. Somebody finally convinces you that you got a drug problem, or I see people all the time get talked into going into rehabs and treatments and stuff like that, just because they don't have a place to live. So they end up signing up to some rehab. It's like, well, appearances look like the person's an addict. Well, maybe so, but they got nothing else to do out here. There's no TV, right? And so this person's having some beers at nighttime or something like that. People do that shit at their house, but everybody's gonna believe that lie. That must be the reason why that person's out here, because alcohol has a problem, and the person has a problem with life, and they're sitting on the streets. Then alcohol must be the problem. Not that something else bad happened to them. They made the wrong decision, or they made the right decision, and it ended up costing them everything. People end up losing, their relationship with their wife or something like that, and they choose to go on the streets to keep the kids in the house with their wife. You know what I mean? And the person sacrificed, he's the main money maker or something like that. You know what I mean? He's still paying for them to be in the house while that individual's on the streets trying to get their life back together because he can't afford hotel rooms with his pay for it. You know what I mean? But over a period of time being out there, if he doesn't progress or he comes back from his job looking all dirty or something like that, the world's going to tear him down. It's so unbalanced. If I walk into a grocery store looking like this, everybody sits there and calls me homeless and a piece of shit and a piece of trash, right? Well, what about the dude at lunchtime that comes looking that was doing plumbing? You know what I mean? Out there in the middle of the grass, he's covered head to tail. You know what I mean? How are you going to judge that I'm homeless just because I happen to have clothes on that are dirty, right? Well, it's because other people are talking. Hey, that was a homeless guy outside. You know what I mean? And so then immediately you're instantly bad. I went through the same thing when I owned my first fish store. I ended up triggering off a bunch of people thinking I was breaking and entering one time into my own store because I had pond clothes on because I was doing maintenance of ponds, right? Mm-hmm. I just didn't match the environment for nighttime. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so people are that judgmental, right? Why is somebody going into a building looking dirty? Because I was working,
Right.
It's the same concept here. It's unfair, People want to be polite. They want to be polite to you so they don't tell you the truth when you try to tell them something, right? And then they turn around and they gossip to somebody else behind your back and you think everything's okay and you're walking into an ambush. You know what I mean? Every time I go try to purchase something or get something that might help out, I either have an electrical problem or I have a cash flow problem because people are on this campaign of, either stopping the homeless or other homeless here, you talking about the story or come up with it, and next thing you know, it's not available in the store. You walk in there to show up a stock to before, and now it's not there. And then life problems happen just by being homeless and you happen to go into survival mode. You don't get a chance to return back to the idea for 3 months because that's how long it's taking to cycle all the way around just in an idea that you want to establish. And people are out here freezing to death. And there's like 40 homeless people in Sacramento die at a minimum every year from exposure. You know what I mean? And people don't even think that they tell you no to $1 and $1 gets you a poncho inside to stay warm. You know what I mean? They live right down the street in the neighborhood and they can't throw a package of hot dogs in the freaking microwave. They hit 2 minutes, right? And some buns in a bag. It's $3 to buy, it's like $4 now. Mustard, buns, and a package of hot dogs, right? Gets you like, 8 hot dogs, right? Or 12 hot dogs, whatever. That's $4, right? A person down the street coming up here to get their alcohol, get their liquor, get their cigarettes, or whatever, can come up here with that for $4 by throwing it in the microwave, showing up here, handing it to a homeless person, and 5 people eat for $4.
Right.
Right? You got a microwave right there. I've been taken to jail for a cup of coffee where I'm standing next door to a damn freaking hotel. Right? And inside the hotels, they got all these, coffee pots, coffee makers, and all the free coffee, right? And they come down from the hotel and they go walking over, and order their cup of coffee. Next thing you know, cops pull on up. I've been out there for an hour asking somebody to help me buy a cup of coffee for $2 in the morning to try to get warm, right? And I just saw 20 people from the hotel that I know they have a coffee maker. All they had to do was push start, right? They're disposable cups. They can walk down and give me a cup of coffee, right? It's this weird human thing that people just don't put together the simple things they can do to help another person. We all space it out for some reason. We all do that. There's so many ways to help, but if we don't change our conversations with each other in order to remind each other to come up with these ideas, we don't stand a chance in anything ever getting progressing. Everybody's just going to keep falling back to that pretty little box that's been on the news or been told in society, and say, hey, that's the one that makes sense. And then, somebody disappears and they say they must have had a problem. Life's problems start happening when you're homeless because you start cleaning up and looking better, and now you get even less help for the community around, because for the first couple of days, they're all smiling because they're happy that you're looking better and they think they don't need help anymore.
Right.
And then all at once you start getting dirty again, and they go, oh, must be back to his old ways, not looking as good as he did before. Look at you, barely walking around. Yeah, because I'm starving to death for the last 3 days. Nobody helped me out. They just smiled at me thinking I was doing better. Right? And so homeless don't want to get perfectly cleaned up and snapped up, because then all at once they don't get any help from anybody. You know what I mean? It's one thing to be clean, but it's another thing, you know what I mean, to start looking good. But if you got to go try to network with people or get a job or interviews or all like that, you get yourself in a bad situation, because where are you going to keep the clean clothes with your dirty rags that you got to wear in order to survive on the street so people actually feel something for another human being? You got to look like a piece of trash. You got to look like you're hurt for somebody to help you. Right? That's what I was saying with if somebody's doing something good and see it and they're trying to do something, they got that job interview, or they're just helping out in the community, or they're not having some problem, or they made leaps and bounds from last time that they were arrested. Get them in the hotel room, give them the reward for that day, right? Start helping those that actually are trying to do something and go somewhere and improve their life, because they're going to get cut off from money. People are not going to be helping them when they start looking better and cleaning up. We got to start trying to work on the awareness part of that.
Right.
Is that, if somebody starts looking better, they need more help because they got more in their life to be responsible for. They got more places to go to, more, bus fares, more everything. They start looking better, their life is expanding. Expanding life costs more money. Not to dwindle back down the other way to give them less because they look like they're in a happy mood. Right? We sit there with the problem, it's like you end up looking like you're hypocritical, or you're schizophrenic, or you're bipolar, but you happen to have an optimistic outlook, because life tears you down one day and you try your best to put on a smile and think of positive things the next day, and people think that you're bullshitting the day before, or that person must be bipolar because they're going on this mood swing, right? So you're better off just staying depressed. You know what I mean? If you're in a bad mood, stay in a bad mood, because otherwise people are going to say you need medication therapy because you happen to be an optimist. And then they don't believe you when you're sitting there telling them that you're that bad, or if you don't know how to be depressed the right way, then you get ran over and trampled because you don't know how to look wounded enough or mad enough, I guess, to fit into societal expectations of what happens to somebody that's actually being harmed. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't take any classes in school on how to, have a bad mentality and bad depression because I'm being hurt. I didn't get any training on that. I didn't get any training on how to be homeless and deal with all these parts of law, government, business, and then street values, street ethics, and street rules, and who to talk to and who not to, and how that changes. None of us got a diploma in that in high school. We get out here, and no offense to anybody, but take a look at who's out here sometimes, right? The expectation of people to understand how to work society and life that hasn't been around really intact in the United States, for the last 100 years, because it's so primitive out here with what we have to deal with, right? We're not history majors. Right?
Right.
You know what I mean? Not everybody's good with finances, right? You know what I mean? I took consumer math, man. Shit, you should see my math. I make half of it up.
Right.
But now once you got to start doing budgeting, you know what I mean? And the people are judging you on, well, you should have bought this, this, and this. You know what I mean? You're foolishly wasting your money.
Right.
And it's like, well, shit. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. I bought the Twinkie candy bar because I, was hungry and that sounded good, and there's only $1,
Yeah.
But when EBT doesn't work very well because you can't. If places don't have microwaves, you can't buy the cold food in order to heat it up, and you can't buy the hot food because it's already prepared. So you're stuck with pre-made food or packaged food. You know what I mean? And it's just like what a microwave would do for a group of humans out here homeless is amazing. Warm your socks up or whatever. This is for food microwaves, this is for everything else. When you go on trash, you drop quarters in it like having, go to the laundromat and have microwaves. Or
Yeah.
cooktop stove that, you pull the safety guard down, tells you when it's boiling, then you open it. So you don't have to worry about everybody frying everything. You drop some quarters in the boiling water. Right? Have water boiling for 5 minutes. Boom, there's a container. Things like that, I don't get it. It can make so much money for people and help out so many people. Even people at work, right?
Yeah, Joe, you're right. Do you want something hot to eat, Joe?
Is there a way you can go over to Taco Bell and get a tacos and taco craving pack? It's like $12 or something like that, $15.
Okay.
It comes with like 8 items in it.
Okay.
Tacos and burritos craving pack.
Okay.
And get like half soft tacos and then half burritos.
You want that?
That would be awesome.
That'd be awesome.
Yep, that'd be great.
Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna
Alright.
go to Taco Bell, get it for you.
All right.
Have a good one.
Thank you so much, miss. This is for you. Excuse me. This is for you.
Swear to God.
Yes.
Swear to God.
May God bless you, okay?
Thank you so
No problem.
much.
All right. Now we're going to see Joe. All right, Joe, let's see what I got for you, my man. Yeah, it has, I think, 4 tacos and 4 burritos for you.
Awesome.
Okay?
I appreciate it.
Yeah, enjoy the meal.
I will.
Can I get a hug?
Sure.
All right, my man.